Thank you, everyone, for joining this presentation. My name is Ibrahim Irfan, and this is the development plan presentation that I have prepared for myself to complete my Quantic MBA. We'll start off with the agenda and the roadmap. So I'll discuss a little bit about me, give a brief introduction on what I do. Then moving onwards, we'll discuss about the question that has been asked from us. I will refer to the position that I have applied to 2 years ago and the gaps that I feel I had at the time of application before starting my MBA. And of course, the Quantic resources that have helped during my journey, and then the conclusion. Just about me, I currently work for the London Stock Exchange Group as an account manager. LSEG actually is a data and financial infrastructure firm. It actually has an exchange as well, namely, of course, the London Stock Exchange. Then they have other businesses like the London Clearing House, and of course, the data and financial infrastructure business. In terms of data, we provide both prime and secondary data for all asset classes, and for of course the financial industry and anybody that is has anything to do with the financial industry. And of course, financial infrastructure, meaning post-trade solutions, exchange technology. We do work with a lot of clients where we set them up with the exchange technology that is required for them to set up their operations. Of course, raise capital through multiple different types of markets. I'm actually originally from Pakistan. My home city is Karachi. However, I'm because of this role based out in Cairo, actually, in Egypt. I cover around 18 markets in 3 continents. These markets were recently given to me. And I handle strategic accounts, key accounts, top 250 accounts of the firm. These are local and international investment powerhouses, brokerage houses, banks, investment banks, and commodity brokers. My bachelor's, my university for my bachelor's was McGill. I was based out in Montreal, Canada, for about 7 years, and I did my undergrad in 4, post which I worked a little bit in Canada and then moved to Pakistan and now subsequently in Egypt. So the question today: you applied for a new position at your ideal company 2 years ago, but the employer told you to come back when you've got your MBA. Prepare on behalf of the employer a brief summary of your achievements over the course of your MBA program and how this has prepared you for your target role. So, yes. So the position that I've applied to. This is important to understand my target role. My target role is to become an account director at Bloomberg for the Middle East region. The position is actually based out in Dubai, which is a fantastic city and one of the very attractive cities apart from Saudi, where a lot of professionals are moving to because of zero income taxes and, of course, very good opportunities as the service industry and manufacturing industry is booming. The position had the responsibility of handling a team of 6+ account managers covering different geographies within the Middle East and Africa. They offer, of course, very competitive salary as compared to LSEG, and given the positions in Dubai, it's much more attractive. Bloomberg is also a market leader in our space in terms of data and distribution. And it's, of course, one of the most prestigious institutions, considered very reliable and a trusted partner for very big North American financial institutions and, of course, the Europeans. LSEG does have a major market share in the emerging markets. However, Bloomberg, given the fact that it's more working towards the developed market, the fixed income and the equity markets, they are planning a substantial expansion in the emerging markets to kind of capture that market share that they've lost over time. So just talking about the gaps that I had when I applied for this position, the gaps were that I didn't have a deep understanding of emerging markets. I've lived in Canada as well, and for a very brief period was in Karachi, Pakistan. Pakistan also is an emerging market, and Egypt, of course, is an emerging market. And I feel that my understanding of the emerging markets was not so much more or so their fixed income markets, their FX markets, how they operate, how the workflows, how central bank of each country governs uh, the industry and how it directs the industry to obviously perform in the way that they expect it to. Secondly, I didn't really demonstrate a lot of leadership qualities because I never had the chance to lead a team, of course. And of course, I felt that I didn't have a 360 holistic picture of the emerging market itself and how people use best practices to strategize and penetrate these markets. Yes. So how did Quantic resources and this journey really help me? So while going through the markets in economics concentration, I really learned about currency fluctuations, depreciation, devaluation, how demand and supply kind of changes and causes the change in price of a particular currency against, let's say, US dollar, and how market forces impact both external and internal in how the economy is performing. And while I moved to Egypt, Egypt, of course, is an emerging market gripped with financial turmoil and crisis post the Russia-Ukraine war, and of course, the COVID-19 pandemic, which kind of curtailed the major inflows coming in from tourism, which added a lot of pressure. That complete holistic picture of how Egypt, as part of the Middle East and Africa, and how surrounding countries are operating and what are the challenges kind of culminated after I went through the markets and economics concentration. As you can imagine, everything just started to add up. And this is exactly what really helped me in filling out that gap is a deep understanding of the market itself, the challenges that organizations face, individuals face, and of course the central banks face. This obviously has made me more prepared to become a Bloomberg account director, because this is exactly what they were looking for, is someone that has hands-on experience with the emerging markets and how they operate. Of course, another concentration that really helped me was the organizational leadership concentration, and how I could be a transformative leader and transform the markets that are currently working uh, in very conventional ways. Of course, the developed markets use a lot of financial technology and leverage AI now to kind of transform how their markets operate to bring about that efficiency. And of course, this lacks a lot here, even with the presence of LSEG. I was able to demonstrate some of the transformative leadership qualities and servant leadership qualities while I was working in Ethiopia with the Ethiopian government to set up their first stock exchange ever in their history. And that kind of demonstrated the fact that I could be a transformative leader and apply servant leadership practices to my role. And of course, the strategy module. It is very important from Bloomberg to have a focal person that can strategize market penetration. And I think that particular concentration and resource really helped me in bridging that gap that is required to fill in the shoes of the account director at Bloomberg. Of course, my achievements over the since my MBA, after applying and using the understandings of the Quantic resources that I and the of course the education material after going through that, and of course the case studies, my achievements were that I was a top performer at LSEG because I applied all of the best practices that were taught to us via the Quantic program, and while going through the case studies that were given to us. And of course, I was recently promoted and given 18 markets in 3 continents to cover. That's it's a challenging role, but of course, it showcases how results oriented and a good performer that I am, that I can be eligible for for a position at Bloomberg. I think this is my journey since the Quantic program. I thank you all for allowing me this opportunity to participate in this program. And I thank you once again for joining this presentation. Thank you.